A major development in a high-profile investigation into pregnancy-related deaths in Texas. The Texas Medical Board has sanctioned 3 doctors tied to delayed care after 2 women, Porsha Ngumezi and Neveah died while having miscarriages. This comes after ProPublica started looking into the deaths of these pregnant women and other pregnant women under the Texas abortion ban. Lizzie Presser is one of the reporters behind this investigation. She's joining us now to talk about this. Lizzie, thank you so much for your time.
Thanks so much for talking with me about this today.
You know, I just want to briefly refresh our viewers. I know we've talked to you about the investigations as they've been coming up, but tell us again about these 2 deaths.
Both Neveah and Porsha Ngumezi died experiencing miscarriages. Porsha Ngumezi was bleeding extremely heavily at around 11 weeks pregnant. And her doctor, Dr. Andrew Ryan Davis at Houston Methodist Sugar Land, did not suggest a DNC, which would have been standard of care. But DNCs under these abortion bans have sometimes been equated to abortions, even though in certain high-risk miscarriages, they can be life-saving miscarriage care. And Porsha died, leaving behind 2 sons and her husband, Hope. Neveah was 18 years old and was experiencing an infection, really serious pregnancy complications, around 6 months of pregnancy. She was turned away from an emergency room 2 times, and on the 3rd time, she received delays in her care. And by the time the doctor was ready to perform a DNE, a more serious kind of operation to empty the uterus, it was too late. Her condition was too poor, and she died with her fetus still in her womb.
When we talk about the punishment, if you will, that these doctors received, what was it?
All 3 of the doctors involved in this care were found to have provided substandard care to these women who were experiencing miscarriages that led to their deaths. The Texas Medical Board disciplined them with 8 hours of continuing medical education.
And so let's talk about that, because I would assume that's gotten a lot of reaction. You have a medical board that says you provided substandard care, or in one case, no care at all, and the punishment is 8 hours of training, correct? Nothing else. Is that pretty normal from what you can know of and what you can make of? I know obviously sanctions and discipline is not made widely known, right? But from what you have been told, is this pretty standard?
I can't say whether it's standard, but the Texas Medical Board does have the leverage to revoke a physician's license or to suspend it. And when I told Hope Ngumezi, Porsha's husband, that this was the punishment for the doctor who did not provide his wife with life-saving care, whose care led to the death of his wife, according to the board, you know, he was really stunned, and he said, this is a slap in the face, and I don't think that this physician should be practicing at all anymore. I mean, what's really important to see here is that doctors who perform an illegal abortion under the Texas abortion ban can face up to 99 years in prison, and that's an extraordinarily harsh punishment. And what we're seeing on the other side are these sanctions that are just 8 hours of continuing medical education if you do not provide what might be conceived of as abortion care if it's not properly documented, but is in fact really important and valuable life-saving miscarriage care. So yeah, it's not, those are not equal things. Those are very far from equal, 99 years in prison and 8 hours of medical education. On the other hand, we've also heard from doctors who have said it's very rare for the Texas Medical Board to cite doctors at all in these cases. And so any kind of recognition that these doctors' actions are leading to the deaths of these women is an important step forward.
You know, obviously these cases happen, these women's deaths happened before the legislature passed a bill, a new law saying doctors can really use their best judgment. They kind of amended the abortion law. It also came before the Texas Medical Board put forth some standards, right? People had been asking the board to give them some guidance. These cases happened before they finally did put some guidance out. Is there some hope, if you will, that those actions will prevent another death from happening?
There's definitely that hope. The Texas Medical Board did release guidance that included I believe, 9 case studies, some of which are similar to the deaths that we've investigated at ProPublica, and that can perhaps give doctors more confidence in their decisions to intervene during miscarriages when there's an emergency and not a lot of time to waste. On the other hand, though, 9 case studies are very few, and what we've heard from dozens of physicians across the state and across the country is that there's just no way for a set of case studies to ever describe the plurality of experiences that women can have during pregnancy. Complications are so varied and nuanced that it's really difficult to say, here are the 9 cases in which you should know how to intervene in these ways. You're missing hundreds, maybe thousands more at the same time.
Yeah. Certainly a very, very important study, important work that you all are doing, and we thank you for the work you're doing. We'll know that you will continue to do that. ProPublica reporter Lizzie Presser, joining us this afternoon again. Lizzie, we thank you for your time.